Bionanogenomics technical analysis, fundamental statistics, along with reviewing my current positions and the price targets. Starting off with the price action, we validated this level of descending of resistance here. Now a support, as we basically did just confirm the breakout, and this is basically what you call a very confirmed breakout. As we had our daily close, we had our wide range candle bar volume, right, and then we had a couple daily closes, but then we came back to it and we got that bounce perfectly off. I have not moved this, and I can't move this, or else it would get really out of congruency. Here we have perfect validations going back as far as the 26th in January, back in the good old days, right? So there's three technical analysis things to keep in mind today. Number one is that your entry point tomorrow, if we were to bleed tomorrow, I think it's unlikely. We certainly can break below this. We certainly can. We can go to zero and get delisted. Or we could, the more likely option, unless the market's bear case is just going to be totally in one day or this week, this week, I don't see that happening, but it could. This is going to be your entry point on this descending level, and that's going to change, right? So, worst case or bet, yeah. Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it, but 586 down to like 579. That's going to be your entry point tomorrow. Also, another thing of note, we are at this level of support here. That if we go back, we are this level right here. It did act as a very strong level of resistance here in the past. Let me go ahead and change it. Let me go ahead and get this a little more accurate. Okay, this was a level of resistance, a perfect level of resistance in the past. So we are at that right now. Are we likely to see a bounce off this? In my opinion, yes, for a couple of reasons, but there's a couple other indicators, and there's one scary one that I want to get to as well. But before we do that, I want to look at the daily RSI, the relative strength index. We're looking at 4105, so we're getting closer to being oversold, much closer to oversold and overbought. On the 4 hour, we're looking very sweet. It depends on depending on how you look at it. We're looking at 33.54, right? So we're almost in that golden range. Last time we were in that golden range, you had basically a 30% increase. So I'm not saying we're about to see that, but I'm just saying as we get lower, there's just more reason to buy and add more shares as you get lower from a technical standpoint and from a fundamental standpoint. In this circumstance, we're going to get into that as well. But this is not the most opportune time or auspicious time to sell, in my opinion. But the bearish indicator that I want to look at is, I was doing some digging in the charts and I found something very weird. And you may be thinking this isn't very validated, Brandon, but it kind of is. If we look at the 200-day exponential moving average, you guys know the moving averages, they're not as clean or precise as some of the trend lines we draw up, So this moving average right here, we've been struggling to confirm the breakout and stay above it, right? We've been indecisive with the price action, going above, false breakouts, false signals. We obviously did not even get the touch at this time, but what makes me think this has been acting as a crucial level of resistance is because look at what happened the last day, right? We got a daily close above. Right when we broke it, it was a quick drop all the way down. Right now, 597. We don't really have many signs of a reversal here. The only sign that I can tell you, the only reason that I could give you in my case, from a technical standpoint, the only reason I can give you for this being the bottom is that this descending level, that's where we're at, right? We're basically at that descending level, so we're not going to see lower than 590 realistically, right? Right now we're at 590, 596. So that is something to keep in mind. So basically, the only three cool things to watch. The cool things today is we're getting oversold. We validated this level of previous level of resistance as the new support. The first time we have done that since we broke out of it, so that's a good sign. And the 4 hour, the exponential moving average. Also, I want to give you an update on the SAR and the Supertrend. If we see 551 tomorrow or this week, that is the zone where I am personally going to be setting buy limits for 551, 560s, 550, because this will go up gradually. So basically tomorrow, if we see carnage tomorrow, right, which of course you guys know how I feel about carnage. It can easily happen any day, but I know it's more likely that one of these days, I think BioNano is just going to be gone and all the people who are bearish are going to disappear and everyone's going to love me when that happens, or not, right? From the fundamental standpoint, there's just no reason in my mind to believe why we're going to keep dipping, right? There's no reason whatsoever. Oh my gosh, we're going to get into that later. But tomorrow, roughly this thing usually goes up about 5 cents a day to 5 to 10 cents a day. So tomorrow, I would recommend, if you're looking to add shares and if we dip below this descending level of resistance or support, now I keep saying resistance, let's turn this green so that maybe will help me. Your buy limit should be set. if you want to catch this parabolic star support, potentially you're going to need to set that at 555 to 560, right? $5.55 to $5.60. And I recommend, if you're going to do 550 flat, that's not what I recommend 555 to 560. But if you're going to do 550 flat, I would recommend maybe considering 551, because there's obviously going to be huge walls at the whole numbers for the bulls and bears, especially for the bulls at this time. So those are some things to keep in mind. Also, looking at the 4 hour, the only other somewhat relevant and interesting thing we have here is that we are getting much closer to that bottom band than the top band. So basically, the lower we go, the more likely we are for at least a dead cat bounce, if not a correction all the way up to that 4 hourly 21 SMA, which is right now it's going to be at 660. That would represent, what would that be? I think that would be near a 10% gain for the stock. So that would be more than a 10%. I believe that would be more than a 10% gain right now if we were to correct right up roughly to that middle band, which will happen inevitably. It always does, even when you're on the downtrend. But so if you're looking to sell, whatever, we're gonna get into whether I think you should sell or not. Huge news today. This is great news. So this university, this doctor, so they are all now offering diagnostic services for constitutional genetic disorders through a laboratory developed test based on optical genome mapping with the Sapphire system. Diagnostic services, that just means diagnosing stuff. And typically, we're going to go over the FDA approval implications. Oh, can the Sapphire be used to diagnose things? Does it need FDA approval? We're going to go over that. The laboratory developed test developed by this doctor and his team is designed for pediatric patients suspected to have a neurodevelopmental genetic disorder. The doctor is developing additional optical genome mapping based laboratory developed tests for prenatal genetic disorders. So not only do we have the neurodevelopmental genetic disorder market here, we also have the prenatal genetic disorders and other indications. So I don't know if people realize that this is just revenue that will be coming in at one point or another, as they just developed a laboratory developed test for as a diagnostic service for constitutional genetic disorders, right? AKA neurodevelopmental genetic disorders. Also, they're going to be developing more laboratory developed tests for prenatal genetic disorders and other indications. Who knows what the other indications mean? So basically, if you didn't understand any of that, well, this is what you need to understand right here. Ape language, too long didn't focus, too long didn't read. That's right here. Sapphire system is a reoccurring payment. The kits, the consumables, the software, everything that you have to buy with it, the chips, the reagents, right? The pigments, all this crap, you have to buy this stuff on a regular basis, right? Not every week, not every month, but you have to keep making payments if you want to use the Sapphire system, right? And if this guy just developed a laboratory developed test based on it, and without it, how is he going to do it without it? He's not going to be able to do it without it. If they want to continue being able to test if they want to continue offering diagnostic services for these disorders, and if they want to keep developing additional optical genome mapping based laboratory developed tests for the prenatal market and other markets, who knows what this could be? This could be anything. What they're going to have to do is keep providing Bionano with the revenue, which is a lot of revenue, by the way. They're going to want that Sapphire 2.0. They're going to want to keep these kind of things that they're offering services for, and they're also developing new services. This is the kind of things where we're getting a high volume of samples by Sapphire data, right? They're getting a high volume of work that's actually being done with Bionano's product, the Sapphire. So they're going to want that higher throughput. So not only does this mean we're going to get reoccurring payments until the Sapphire 2.0, it means these guys are going to be paying for the Sapphire 2.0 because they realize it's worth. Okay, so I know that's a lot for you, but I don't know how people don't understand that this is straight up just revenue. And this is also proof that the Sapphire can be used for laboratory developed tests for constitutional genetic disorders, neurodevelopmental genetic disorders, and it also makes you think that, hey, this doctor is also using it to develop another laboratory developed test for prenatal genetic disorders, right? Like we've been talking about, we listed the prenatal market in our markets here, right? I mean, come on, man. You can't make this stuff up, all right? I mean, also other indications. I mean, who knows what that could be? That could be anything, okay? So this is obviously great. I know I'm going on a tangent here, but also current medical guidelines recommend that patients with a suspected genetic condition, such as pediatric and neurodevelopmental disorder like autism spectrum disorder, first undergo analysis for structural variation with whole genome analysis by chromosomal microarray. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they're just they're recommended currently by orthodox standards, by the conventional international standards to get tested with this crap, right? Microarray, karyotyping, fish, right? This crappy stuff. I guess they don't say fish here, but this crappy stuff, right? This workflow is widely considered to be cumbersome, time-consuming, expensive, and inefficient. The optical genome mapping-based laboratory developed and validated by MCG's GEM laboratory provides all the information sought in the first-line traditional methods, the CMA and the KT, and Fragile X testing recommended by medical guidelines, as well as the information that would be sought in reflex, in a reflex to KT, in a single assay, which an assay is just a little test, scientific procedure, scientific experiment, not experiment, but a test to find out information essentially. And remember, I'm not a doctor, right? I can get these terms wrong, I guess. So go look it up for yourself if you want. A single assay for the detection of all types of structural variants, like this laboratory developed test, offers the potential to achieve a higher rate of diagnosis using a workflow that is faster, easier, lower cost. Now, don't take my word for it. This doctor here is literally buying, and he's buying in on optical genome mapping space and Sapphire and BioNano. He's betting his reputation that the Sapphire is worth it because he's already found a laboratory developed test, and he's already said that they believe that the workflow, they're going to get a higher rate of diagnosis because they're using a workflow that is faster, easier, and lower cost. Now, if this doctor believes that, what do you think this guy's friends are going to do? His friends or anyone who keeps up with his work, or anyone that knows this person, or anyone that's reading this, they're going to be wondering, hey, if this doctor, this highly credentialed doctor is using Sapphire, maybe I should try it out because maybe it's good, because this guy says it is faster, it is easier, lower cost. Or I guess not this guy, but at least basically he does. Okay, why else would he buy out, right? He's literally developing more laboratory developed tests, or trying to, for prenatal genetic disorders and other indications. He's already developed a laboratory developed test for a diagnostic services, which is why on the market section here, there's so many things. I tried to cover everything. I didn't even really talk about the diagnostic market. I mean, some of this stuff, it's kind of inherently, right, when you're talking about autism, right? I mean, some of this stuff is, I guess diagnoses are kind of inherently what I was saying here, I guess, but not necessarily, because I never actually said the word diagnostic in there. So anyways, this is amazing news. This is absolutely amazing news. The doctor commented, since our initial evaluation of Sapphire, we've been impressed by the ability of it to identify all structural variations type, not just 500 base pairs to mega base pairs, not just large structural variants, all structural variance types, which could be associated with a genetic disorder. During the development of our laboratory developed test, we found that optical mapping scored a perfect of 1,000. Okay, 100%. Okay, this is just him basically praising the Sapphire, right? Everything that I said over here, there you go, man. There you go. So, as we are continuing the development of similar laboratory developed tests for additional clinical application, making optical genome mapping based laboratory developed tests a key part of our menu of diagnosis. I mean, this is amazing news. I mean, I don't understand. You guys let me know if I'm missing something here. This is absolutely amazing news. This is exactly what we want. I mean, this is revenue that will be coming in once they need to update their Sapphire and get more consumables, pay for the reoccurring stuff that BioNano's business model ensures. Here's the CEO talking. Now, this is one of the most insignificant little quotes here that typically his quotes here I love. Now, I love the end here, but this first part is not really that great. He's basically just saying good job to these guys and some other stuff. But basically, this is what's important here. We expect more U.S. laboratories to develop laboratory-developed tests for several clinical applications in the future, continuing to define Sapphire as a key tool for next-generation cytogenetics in cancer and genetic disease. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man? That's the CEO right there. A key tool for next-generation cytogenetics in cancer, which is not even what we're talking about here at all, right? And genetic disease. I mean, take it from him, folks. Take it from this doctor. Don't take it from me that Sapphire is good and it has a lot of uses that no one is talking about. Take it from the bloody CEO. The bloody CEO is saying next generation cytogenetics. That's what defines Sapphire as a key tool for that, man. Come on. For all of those people that are wondering why has BioNano had such a low institutional adoption? Why is no one adding shares? Well, they have been adding shares. If we look here to date, on today, the 30th, right? We have basically more than 300, and we basically have 400,000 shares that were added in the last couple of weeks or months that were filed today. So basically, we have 40,000 shares here, and they are all added. All of these are added positions, and most of them are new. The green ones are new, and the white ones are ones that they already have a position. It's not their first time in BioNano. So we have average share price 571, 558, and 550, right? So these institutions have been adding in the mid 50s. Now look at this. This is actually crazy. This is actually very very bullish. It makes me very confident to add at 571 because these guys, Inspire Advisors, these guys loaded the boat with 291,000 shares, my friends, at 571. If we look at the share price right now, we are almost at 571. You better bet your ass that these guys have done their due diligence before they loaded and spent millions of dollars on shares. What is that? Is that like $3 million right there? I don't know. I can't calculate that exact value. My math on the spot is not that good, but that's millions of dollars right there, my friends. And these guys are at 571. So if you guys want to set your buy limits at 572, 571, help these guys out. That's great because as institutions, typically when the stock price comes down to their average cost basis, they are adding. And also, do you know what else they do? They use market manipulation in their favor now. Okay, so instead of the market manipulators working against us, bad PR, short ladder attacks, selling, whatever it is that they can do that we don't even understand what they can do, right? Whatever it is, puts, options, whatever it is, man. They're going to be working in our favor now. They're going to be bullish because they've got 300,000 shares on the dang line, son. Are you kidding me? So this is great news. As I said, this is a crazy day. BioNano went down a crazy amount, but we've got a ton of exciting stuff today. We've got crazy news. We've got institutions loading the boat. The price action is near here. Also, I will be talking about how many shares I added today and a little detail on what I'm planning to do in the current position section. But next up, Wall Street bets, my friends. This is something that we're going to be talking about a ton. I'm very excited for this. This is so fun with Wall Street bets. I love Wall Street bets. They're so funny. But basically, I have tried to become the next DFEP in value, basically, with this BioNano post. It's like 1,000 pages long. We've got 326 votes. We've got an infinite amount of awards, the most awards I've ever had, right? Basically, Wall Street bets is with us, kind of. They are kind of with us. A lot of them probably are going to be adding today and tomorrow as we kind of got destroyed today. A lot of them did say they added today, or at least maybe not a lot of them, but some of them did say they added today and got killed. They're bag holding now. So Wall Street bets is a little bit on our side, and our goal here, you know what? I'm not going to go on this too much because I did it in the live stream, and I'll continue to do it in the live stream because it's just more fun in a live setting, I think. But this is very crazy news, and please, everyone, go watch, if you're new here, go watch the BNGO full DD video we did. If you go to my channel, it's very easy to find. The full document is here available for you to read the whole video. It's got timestamps. It's got everything for you, my friends. Please do yourself a favor. Go read it or watch it if you're a more visual or auditory learner. There you go, man. Taking a look at the subreddit here. Okay, so I wanted to go over something. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go over this later in more depth in the live stream tomorrow, maybe. But I want to go over this interest. For people who are doubting the whole Wall Street bets, can retail investors affect the stock price? They already have plenty of times, my friends. Empirically, it's factually and patently true. But anyways, this is a common bear point. I've been studying short interest, different scenarios. I'm starting to believe that unless everyone pulls together in one stock, there will be no short squeeze. There are billions of dollars out there, retail making up a small percentage altogether. So this is just absolutely wrong, right? Hey, this is a good point, but remember, bro, more than 70% of BNGO's flow is derived from us retail investors. I think it's actually more like 85%. I think it's actually 90%, honestly, because institutional is 5%. And insider ownership is like 5%, right? So, or less than that, right? I think it's like one. I think it's like less than 1% according to FinViz. So, inside or not insiders, retail investors determine the stock price mostly, right? So this is going. So if you guys are with me, and the goal, if you want to know the goal for what we're actually trying to do and why and where, go watch the live stream today, the very start of it, or just tune into tomorrow's, and we can go back. We can go in more depth to that. But this is basically if Wall Street bets adopts my BNGO synthesis as to market manipulation that's been going on, I will try my best to be like deep F in value and lead BNGO to new highs through peculiar ways. I am ready for what is to come, but I'm not ready for what is to come, but I am certainly excited for whatever it may be. So yeah, man. I'm super excited for what is to come. I'm so excited. And I know for a fact once BioNano starts doing what it will, I shouldn't say I guarantee you. I don't like being super confident as in being too pumpy. But once BioNano starts going up, when BioNano goes up, everybody is on board. Everyone loves me. Everyone thinks I'm a genius. And when BioNano goes down, everyone hates me. It's like, no, you suck. You're wrong. Dude, it's about the long-term outlook. Trust me. Trust me, my friends. The stock price is not dictated by the fundamental value or the company whatsoever. whatsoever in the short term. No way. Long term, the company's fundamentals will determine the stock price 100%, my friends. Please remember that. U.S. economic calendar. We have nothing crazy this week. JP is nowhere to be found as of now. We do have the Biden bill coming in potentially. We also have bond yields, and we also have the NASDAQ bear case potential scenario. Bond yields have gone down significantly today, although the markets are still crapping themselves. So very interesting behavior. So I can do a NASDAQ update if y'all want to know more about the bear case scenario, how the technicals of that is that for looking. But anyways, if you didn't understand it, is diagnostics market. By the way, Quest Diagnostics owes BioNano money. If you want to see what I'm talking about there, go to the document here. Go watch the BNGO full ED video again. If you would like, prenatal market, this new article mentioned the prenatal market, so it's just more penetration in that market. If it is a lab that runs their own laboratory developed tests, the products that they use are not required to be FDA approved. So basically, back into the whole, can BioNano be used for diagnostic services, right? Technically they already have in this, so technically, of course not. They don't need it. Otherwise, this article would not have come out, right? Or someone would have debunked it, right? So no, to my knowledge, I can be wrong on this. I'm not an expert on FDA approval. Okay, I don't know everything. But to my knowledge, if it is a lab that runs their own laboratory developed tests, the products they use are not required to be FDA approved. Also, just logically thinking, the Sapphire is a box, and there's not particularly a dangerous side effect to it. You just put your data in and it gives you samples right through the software. So yeah, Wall Street Bets, we did cover that. Please watch the live stream today. The start of it, literally, you don't have to skip around. Just watch the first 5 to 10 minutes. You'll understand everything there is to know about this, and it is very fun. And I love the Wall Street. I love it. I love the potential for Wall Street Bets joining me as their leader. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I don't mean that for the fame or the glory. I literally believe in the cause, and it's a good cause. It's a true cause. It's a justified cause. So, and I give you that cause there. I'm not going to do it here because it takes like 10 minutes. It's pretty complicated. I'm not going to lie. So this is the ARC newsletter that came today. Thank you, Christopher Hart, for emailing this, my friend. So basically, again, long read sequencing, which is more comprehensive and reliable than short read sequencing, could provide some important answers. So again, long read sequencing, which is more comprehensive and reliable than short read sequencing, could provide some important answers. So regardless of whether BioNano makes any disruptions at all, this is actually good to see, because long read sequencing is actually what BioNano complements the most, according to this article that I did in the DD that you would already know if you watch here. So Illumina, which does do long read sequencing, has a new complementary technology produced by BioNano Genomics. So if we read the quote here, what's unique about us is that we can see structure, but we cannot see point mutations, blah, blah. So we are a very perfect complement to sequencers out in the field in regards to Illumina, which does do some long read sequencing, my friends. So that's just great. That's good to see, because if we had to pick between short read sequencing, next generation sequencing, or long read sequencing, that is the one that we want to specifically be. And I know there's some similarities there and some overlap, but long read sequencing is the one that we want to strive if we had to choose between short read and long read, because BioNano is more tethered and more complementary to long read based on what I know. And remember, I can always be wrong. Anyway, portfolio showcase, I did add 90 shares today. I had 560 yesterday. I now have 650. I am running out of buying power. I'm literally, my leap call is getting destroyed. I'm going to literally sell my other stocks. I am literally going to sell JMIA and sell CTXR that I am literally only have $4 market value, and it's going off literally right after I sold it. I took profits on that, but earlier. But yeah, I am going to add BioNano. If we see 571 tomorrow, or even below $6, the lower we go, the more I'm going to add. Essentially, that's how it is. Like if we see $5, if we see $4, $3, $1, I don't care what it is, unless something fundamentally changes with the company. I am willing to say I will go down with the ship. Once something fundamentally changes, if there's a study that comes out and finds Sapphire or large SV detection is not actually as good, if there's something like that, okay, then I'll have to assess it and see what's up. But right now, it's only good news, and we keep leading. So my recommendation to all of you, just do your due diligence, and please watch the BNGO full DD video, please. Not just for the sake of pumping my channel, not just for that sake, right? For your own sake, for your conviction into the stock, my friends. Anyways, relevant information regardless of the title is finished now. What do we do now? This is what you do now. Pump that BNGO DD video. My ads that I was planning on spending $236 to Utah. I was planning on sending them that money to promote my video using ads. Nope. Some sort of stupid ad policy caught it. There's some sort of policy rule break because of the video. I don't know why. I read it. It's absolutely BS. So I can't do ads. I'm not going to be able to spend any money on ads for the video. So it's up to us to promote the BNGO DD video. It's not doing horrible right now. I can't complain, but we need this video to blow up, and we need the channel to blow up. Okay, I say that selfishly for partly, but I also say that for BioNano's sake. We need to get the word out that BioNano is a good company, and if you want to indirectly, well, actually directly affect the stock price of BioNano, what you can do is go and pump that video by whatever means necessary. Like, share, comment, literally just comment anything. Just spam the comments. Share it to your friends. Link it, spam it everywhere. Reddit, StockTwits, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Discord. I said Reddit twice. Everything, Instagram, everything, man. LinkedIn, email it to all your friends. Text it to people. Whatever you got to do if you want to do any. That's what I do. I do all that stuff, and I still barely get any views. Right? That's how insane it is. That's how insane I am. But anyways, guys, I know that's a lot. Please tune in the live streams tomorrow if you want to know more about the Wall Street Bets thing. And also, there's so much stuff to talk about. But anyways, this is not financial advice. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all in the next one.